Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to decode a really fascinating geographic mystery. It's all about India. 3 names, one incredible nation.
Seriously, why does one nation have 3 totally different names? It's kind of wild when you think about it. The history of this country's naming is actually a massive, globe-trotting journey through different languages, ancient empires, and totally different civilizations. So let's break it down.
Let's start with our first name, India, the Greek origin.
Now, the geographic name India is basically a 2,000-year-old game of telephone, and it all ties directly back to one specific body of water, the Indus River. Okay, so picture this. Way back in the 6th century BCE, the local Sanskrit name for this river was Sindhu. But then, ancient Persians traveled there in the 5th century BCE, and they kind of shifted that S sound to an H, making it Hindu. After that, the Greeks showed up under Alexander the Great in the 4th century BCE, dropped the H entirely, and started calling it Indos. And finally, by the 1st century CE, that word naturally evolved into the Latin version we use today, India. Pretty crazy, right?
Okay, moving on to name number 2, Bharat, the ancient legend. So while the rest of the world usually says India, the country's official constitution actually says Bharat. And this is a Sanskrit word that carries a really profound meaning. It translates to the land of seekers, or one who is engaged in the search for knowledge. It's a deeply philosophical name built right on top of ancient scriptures. But there's more to it, because it's also built on an epic legend. The name directly originates from the legendary King Bharata. If you know the great ancient Indian epic, the Mahabharata, he's the famous ancestor of the Pandavas and Kauravas. Basically, he is the legendary monarch who literally gave the nation its ancient official Hindi name.
And that brings us to the third name, Hindustan, the Persian map.
You see, Hindustan is a Persian compound word, and it acts literally as a linguistic map. Here's how it works. First, you have Hindu, which, as we established earlier, is derived from the river Indus. Then you add stan, which is just the Persian suffix meaning land. So put them together, and Hindustan quite literally translates to the land beyond the Indus River. Now, you'll often hear this particular name beautifully utilized in poetry and songs, but it carries a lot of deep historical context, too. It was heavily popularized during the Great Mughal era, specifically to describe the northern regions of the Indian subcontinent. It just perfectly blends Persian geography right into the local landscape.
So there you have it. India, the Greek evolution, Bharat, the ancient Sanskrit legend, and Hindustan, the literal Persian map. 3 completely distinct names for one absolutely incredible nation. So I gotta ask, which of the 3 names is your favorite? Comment down below right now.